It is really cold for
Yeah.
July.
I hate cold weather, yeah.
Are we going back?
Hey,
or
Joe, is your
forward?
mic on?
Hey, yeah, I got the mic on now, okay. John, if with declaration of quorum, please?
Sure. Mike Steele? Mike Steele? I just thought I'd start with him, make it interesting. Bob Beaudry?
Here.
Linda Noss?
Here.
Doug Holtz?
Here.
Jill Doyle?
Here.
Joe Plankus?
Here, just
Got
for
it.
the record, I remember Mike did tell me that he was on duty tonight at the firehouse, so he would not be here. Okay, first item on the, and only item on the agenda is the 3132 Investments Agreement Amendment that's been requested by that team. Let me just make a couple quick comments here up front. Just a reminder, we have that one item. Okay, let me get it closer. We have that one item on the agenda. I know we've all spent considerable time, thanks to Birch, on getting all of the information and many, many documents on the different aspects of his project in Grand Millennium. So I think we all understand what the request is. So let me just summarize that if I can. There are three parts. One is increasing the loan by $4.5 million to $10.5 million. Two, extend the term of the loan by 33 months. Three, defer the overdue credit enhancement fees of $460,000 on the original agreement to the end of the extended period. At that point, we would receive an amount of $500,000. Plus, an additional amount of $100,000 will be due to the RDC at the closing of the additional loan, and that would mean that the RDC ultimately would receive $600,000 in total of credit enhancement fees. At the last meeting, the question was asked, can we financially, as an RDC, handle the worst-case scenario if, in fact, there is a default? John has provided information to that effect, and the answer to that question is yes, we can handle it financially. So if we can stay focused on the task tonight, the vote is obviously to vote for or against the agreement amendment as presented to us for those points in question. Cam or John, is there anything you want to add to that?
Not for me. Thanks.
Okay.
I don't have
John,
anything
okay.
either.
Okay, so we can open up for any discussion, questions that we may have for Birch and his team here tonight. Does anybody have any questions for any clarification, anything that we've received up to this point?
Oop.
Oh, careful, Birch. Don't hurt yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
Please
I'm here for
identify
questions.
yourself.
Any questions?
I have a question. And I asked this in an email where I asked, Cam responded to some questions. I appreciate that because that was good information to know. And then my question that he thought I should get answered from you, Birch, is does the developer have other avenues to acquire the Hapic property than to increase this loan?
Not at this time. The market's not very strong for undeveloped ground that's zoned specifically for a convention center.
And I guess you can't really speak for the owner of the property or the seller, but, because we haven't talked to him, we don't know.
Well, she's an
She.
85-year-old lady,
Yeah,
and
it's the
all she
family.
wants to do is sell. You know, and so she's not in the banking business. And, you know, we tried earlier to amend the PUD to give it a little more flexibility and liquidity, but it didn't gain any ground. So it's, everybody wants to wait on the convention center, so that's why we're here.
And my other question was, the second mortgage on the library property. How is
Yes.
that affecting all of this, and how is it affecting, because you asked us to vote to allow you to sell that property, right? We have to do that? Okay, and how is that second mortgage then involved?
Well,
As
you're
a-
part of the second mortgage, so that's Community First Bank, has a second on all the land that Mag 7 retained. You have, Community First has a first on other land when we did the transaction in 2019. So upon the sale to the library, X amount goes to Mag 7, the senior lender. There's already a, it's a typical mortgage reduction clause per acre price. Then the balance would go, if any balance is left, would go to the second mortgage, who would have to release their position also.
Okay, and because you have 4 points here, are we going to vote these separately, all together?
No,
Do you?
this is one request for an
It's one
agreement.
request.
Jane.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't
No, it's
willing to split
One
anything.
vote on one item, which is the
Okay.
agreement in total.
All right, thank
As
you.
spelled out by Cam. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bob, anything?
No.
No? Jill? Okay. Cam, go ahead.
I would just say the request on the library sale, I think, should be treated separately. That's something that's required under the agreement as it exists today. So the standby land transfer agreement that's in existence and executed requires approval by the Redevelopment Commission before any of that land can be sold. So I think that's a separate
that's a
request.
separate,
Yeah,
okay,
the
good.
amendments as requested, then it's, to you all to,
So
to
even though it's
consider
listed
also.
as one item on our agenda, there really are two votes required.
for, those two items that are part of the standby land transfer agreement, yeah.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Okay, thanks, Cam. Just for clarification, Mike Steele is online. He can hear. If you want to turn on your microphone. Mike, do you have any questions?
No, not at the moment. Thank you, though.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for joining us. At this point then, I move that we approve the proposed amendment to the original agreement for the standby land transfer agreement. Do I have a second?
This is Doug, I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Anything else in way of discussion? If not, John, please call roll for the motion.
Joe Plankus,
Yes.
Jill Doyle,
Yes.
Doug Holtz,
Yes.
Linda Noss,
No,
no, Bob Beaudry.
Okay, motion passes 3-2.
3-2.
That is the only item we have on the agenda. Is there anything else, Cam or John, that we need to cover tonight?
If you want to address the library piece, the sale of the library parcel under the existing agreement this evening, that would be a separate motion to allow for that sale.
Okay. Any discussion on that? You folks okay with that? We can make a motion to
do we
approve
have
the
to add
sale
it,
to the library?
do we have to add it to the agenda?
I think that's part of the
Okay.
agenda item because it pertains to the same standby land transfer agreement,
Okay,
part of the request.
that's what I was trying
I
to,
think it's really, my recommendation was simply because one of them exists under the current agreement, just so we keep the record straight as to
Okay.
what's being approved.
okay.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the sale of the land to the library?
This is Doug, so moved.
Okay, do I have a second?
This is Jill, I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval of the sale of the land to the library. John, please take roll.
Joe Plankus,
Yes.
Jill Doyle,
Yes.
Doug Holtz,
Yes.
Linda Noss,
Aye.
Bob Beaudry.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Anything else, Cam, John, that we need to cover tonight?
Nothing. I would just remind everyone that our next meeting is in February, and again, it's pushed because of a holiday.
Okay,
So it'd be
it's on-
Tuesday
it's
instead
on
of
the
Monday.
Tuesday again.
Just so everybody's, I think everybody's seen the schedule. I just want to make sure there's a tickler that you're
Okay.
aware of that.
Can
Very
I
good.
ask if the bullpen financials
Yeah,
available
you'll,
to review?
I met with Rochelle this morning, and I don't want to create another meeting here. We're going to send to you all the opportunity to set up a reoccurring meeting monthly
Oh, that'd
to
be good.
discuss
Yep.
that,
We can
so
plan
that
it.
Regular
well,
schedule.
it gives me some
Good idea.
predictability. I mean,
Right.
everything's really tight right now, and
Okay.
it's, the schedule's just getting tighter, and I think if I can get Rochelle to work with you guys, and I can set it up so that we have a standing monthly to review that, and then I can pass that along to Ken so he can be aware and maybe even available, that would add,
That would
that
be
would
great.
expedite everything for everyone, and frankly, that's my preference at this point.
Okay, good idea, John, thank you for that
Our
input.
next meeting is after the RFP for the tree course comes in?
The RFP will be discussed and voted on at the February meeting, because you and I need to meet to review those. I think they're due in by the 11th, and so that's at least a week prior to the meeting of the full commission.
Okay, so
For
it
our
wasn't like we had a
recommendation to the
chance to say anything about the proposal, but it is due on the 11th.
Okay, do I have a,
Hey,
Ken,
Joe,
go
will there
ahead.
be, will there be an old business agenda on the next meeting that we
Yeah,
talk
we'll,
about?
we'll have an, this
Sorry.
was a special meeting, Bob, so we didn't.
Right, no, I know. I was just asking for.
No, we'll have that on there.
Okay.
Okay, do I have a motion for adjournment?
Before you do, may I say something?
Sure, go ahead, Birch.
I want to thank the commission, each and every one of you, for asking all the questions, diligently looking at my request. I feel it's unfortunate, Linda and Bob, you voted against this, because this is a big deal for our city, and I see no reason why you would have a negative vote when you're on the development commission. So civilly, I feel that you guys, made a bad choice there, but, we discussed it thoroughly, and, you can't be happy with everybody's vote. But I can thank the other commissioners for the positive vote, and I tell you.
I'm sorry, we can't hear you because the microphone is muted.
Your mic wasn't on.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for the, yeah, thanks for the comments, Birch, appreciate that. We have a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Jill, motion for adjournment, I'll second that motion. Meeting is,
Adjourn.
vote aye?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Okay, meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Doug, thank you, Mike.